To say hello to Gracie Louisiana Harrison. She is not amused with me. We call her Gracie Lulu. She's not amused by her mother. Her mother. Hello, my name is Flo, and this is the Great Jelly Library, where we love to talk about books. Today we are going to practice the subtle art of persuasion. Gosh darn it, I'm going to do my best to get you to read, if you haven't already, A Confederacy of Dunces. One day I was in the bookstore and something told me I needed to buy this book and I needed to one day read it. And I had no intentions on getting to it anytime soon until another book channel, Alan, over at Big Hard Books, said that he was rereading it on his Voxer. Him and a lovely lady by the name of Claire. And I hopped on board because I wanted to seize an opportunity. I had the book, you know, what better time than the present. So we went ahead and read this. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I'm going to tell you this. I did read A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, and I thought it was going to be a lot like that. And let me tell you, it is nothing like that. So, how am I going to get you to read this if you haven't already? Okay. I am, without giving any spoilers, going to welcome you into a world of lunacy. This is a story about a bunch of idiots. There's no other way to say it. They're just, I don't know, every character to me just seems like a bunch of idiots. This book made me laugh so many times. Like, one minute I am sitting there straight-faced, and the next minute I cannot stop laughing because of the things that come out of Ignatius's mouth. Okay, so the story is about, or the story goes something a little bit like this. Our main character is a 30-year-old educated man by the name of Ignatius Riley, who lives at home with his mother. He hasn't worked a job in a very, very long time, and he has no intention on changing that. He is also verbally abusive to his mother, Irene. And she puts up with that abuse until one day she doesn't. Ignatius is disgusted by everything and everyone. And that is where the humor comes in. He says a lot of unexpected things that are hilarious. He's an uppity character. He's manipulative. He is he's absurd, and he's a fool. He is a downright fool, but unintentionally he is hilarious. On a day when his mother went to see the family doctor about her arthritis, Ignatius tagged along. While the mother was in the office, Ignatius ran into the music store to get a couple of items and then returned back to the car. where he was greeted by a police officer who was none too kind. He gave Ignatius a hard time, and at that moment, the mother finishes her appointment up and approaches the car where she sees somewhat of a commotion going on. Well, she decides it would be in their better interest to ditch and duck the police officer. So they hide away in a corner bar. It is there in the bar where we meet a couple of more characters. And by more characters, I mean a couple of more fools to add and thicken the plot. One too many drinks later, Ignatius and Irene leave the bar. They proceed to walk the couple of blocks back to the car. That is where Irene hits another car. Eventually, she is contacted by the police and notified that she is going to have to pay for damages. It is then suggested by the police officer that Ignatius should probably get a job and help his mom to pay for these damages. Against Ignatius's better judgment, he does agree to do so, and at this point takes a couple of low-budget jobs where more shenanigans occur. Now, Ignatius has a bad pyloric valve, and he uses that to get himself out of certain situations. This book is hilarious, and if you are in the mood for something to lift your spirits, from the first page to the last, you will be entertained. I am so glad that I read this book. It is now one of my very favorite books in a whole different kind of way. If you've read this book, comment below. Let me know. What did you think of it? Did you find this book funny at all, or do I just have a twisted sense of humor? Now, I am not going to say anything about the author, John Kennedy Toole, because I want to end this video on a high note, but you can research that on your own. Oh my goodness, what a tragedy. How I wish things ended differently. But anyways, high note. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, and be reading.